joining me here today is Colin Jackson from Wings for Life, who just gave an awesome lecture about Wings for Life World Run and basically the campaign that followed this inspiring event. For those of you who are wondering, why is this man looking familiar to me? Colin was and still is, let's say, a professional runner from Britain who held the world record for 110 meters with herders for 11 years. 11 years. Respect.
Yep. Thank you very much.
So after an amazing and successful career as a sportsman, you basically decided to pursue something different, and that is a life of inspiring a lot of younger people, let's say, and to motivate them to stay healthy and basically to run. So that something is Wings for Life. So could you tell me a bit more about what this is and how did you come up with this idea?
Well, the Wings for Life World Run is really something, it's a real platform for us in the Wings for Life Foundation, not only just to expose the world to what the foundation does as a work, which is to raise money for spinal cord injury research. I think that's really crucial thing that we've got to get out to people, is that we spend 100% of the money we raise directly into spinal cord injury research. And I got involved literally in the project because I found out that spinal cord injury really was so underfunded compared to other things. And when you think the whole planet itself could suffer from a spinal cord injury, that is why I thought, you know what, this has really inspired me to do something. So for us to be able to give the message by doing a Wings for Life World Run, which of course is to me is the biggest thing that we can do to raise ideas and funds for the foundation, is just great. What we've ended up doing now, of course, is having a world run, which starts exactly the same time everywhere across the planet. So we're in 35 locations. I think we're in 33 next year now. But what we'll do in those locations, we'll start at 12 noon UTC, which will be 1 o'clock here in Croatia. No, actually it'll be 2 o'clock here in Croatia, 1 o'clock in United, because the clocks go forward, right? So that's what we'll do. And say in Australia, it'll be very late at night, and in the United States, it'll be very, very early in the morning. But everybody will start exactly at the same time. So we wanted the idea and the concept to be really inclusive to everybody in that sense. So it's a world run. It's a global event, and it's inclusive for people in wheelchairs or people who can walk. Now, what is interesting about this is that what we try to do is get people to understand this. There isn't a finish line. There's a start line, there isn't a finish line. Something called the catcher car, it starts 30 minutes after the runners. And once the catcher car sets off and it starts picking up the runners, that's when it's the end of your race. So if you're like myself, an amateur at those kind of distances,
Definitely.
My event was sprinting. And so, if you're an amateur in those kind of distances, you could run 2-3 kilometers. It really doesn't matter. It's been participating in it for us, which is going to be crucial. Or if you're a real ultra runner who enjoys running long distance for fun.
There's no finish line.
There's no finish line. It
just
comes to you.
Keep on going.
Exactly, until the car catches you. And our last 2 years, we've had people winning the event over 78 kilometers distance that they've managed to run. Takes them nearly 5 hours to run that kind of distance, but they're still in it. And there'll be other people who only finished in 1,800 meters, which is, in significant terms, very, very different. We've had participants, I think our eldest participant was around 90 years old. So you can see it's a really inclusive
Huge
event.
respect.
Yeah.
Yes, so basically the event is in its third year now.
Yeah.
So tell me, Colin, how are you and your team approaching social media to spread the word about it? How big of a challenge actually it is to organize an event which is taking basically place in 35 locations around the world, right?
It is a huge challenge, as you can imagine. Just trying to get everybody together at the right time. The accurate message given is really important for us because we don't want people to be afraid of the event. At the beginning, some people were hearing that the event is for people who can run 100 kilometers. Well, no, that's not accurate. What's accurate is that everybody can participate and the line will come to you. So this is one of the crucial things and mistakes that can be made. So you can see the importance of then social media to explain that to everybody. But also, what we want, and we encourage people is to be our eyes and ears on the course as well. So if people are fans are watching, supporters are watching, it's for them to use the big, social media platforms to give out the
Support
good
the campaign
message.
on social media. Yeah,
Exactly. Just explain what it's like, what the atmosphere is like, what is going on. And those are the type of things where we can really use social media at its real best. You learn one thing from one person, and then that can really go across the whole planet quite quickly.
Yeah, awesome. So basically you're doing this for a better cause, let's say. And that is to motivate people to work out and raise money for spinal cord injury. Huge respect for that.
Thank you.
Would you say that people nowadays, just regular Joes, are more motivated and inspired today now that we have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all these other platforms that sportsmen and sportswomen can use and basically connect with their fan base?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think most sportsmen and women, their top ones, always like now to directly connect with their fans. Because, usually you don't have that opportunity to speak to somebody who's a real supporter. You don't know who your fans really are. I mean, when I started my career and my first global medal was way back in 1987 when I picked up a bronze medal at our World Championships in Rome. There was no such thing as social media, so I had no idea, no concept of who my fans were, who supported me or not. Now with the real accuracy of that, whether using Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, any of those kind of social platforms, you have a real opportunity to show yourself in a more three-dimensional way to your fans.
There isn't a filter, let's say a PR agency, basically. It's you talking to your audience, sharing the message, sharing your thoughts, and that's it.
And it's nearly, you can share your information in 24/7. This is the real greatness about social media, is that you can do that, and you can give out information as you see fit as well. Or also, correct information if it's wrong information that's going out about you. So there's a real give and take with social media.
Awesome. We do have a couple of questions from Twitter, and this is coming at you. What inspired you when you came up with the new race concept for World Run?
Do you know, the real key was what we were trying to do and what we were trying to achieve. And it was a raising awareness of the foundation, and we needed to do something. And when our strapline, our real selling point was running for those who can't, I think that really has that resonance with people. They understand spinal cord injury can cause people not to be able to run, but you can change it by running for those who really can't. So, that was the real thing that had that motivation and drive for me.
Awesome. I do have a personal question myself. I just recently took up running, and it's been amazing. The amount of things you can do after you run a 10K. It's bloody amazing. You have to ask I am from Serbia, and the event is taking place in both Croatia and Slovenia. So what can the local, and I know a lot of Serbian runners are being, I'm not going to say mad, but kind of disappointed that we don't have the World Run. The Wings for World Run. So what can we do to get involved, and how can we finally in 2016 get an event in Serbia?
Do you know what? We're totally an open book. Let's put it that way.
Awesome.
There's nothing that's kind of shut down for us in that sense. Each year we'll be adding different venues and different locations as we go along. But initially, first of all, we have to rely a lot on our Red Bull team, because remember, for us, the Wings for Life Foundation, and for our team, we don't really organize it. We allow our Red Bull teams to do that. And they've done such a hard job, but delivered an amazing event for us. I'm really proud to say that I can associate with that. And I'm really pleased with them that they kind of, get involved in that sense. So we're totally an open book. And perhaps, watch this space. Belgrade could be next on our hit list. You just never know, right? No. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Colin. There was a awesome. It was basically a huge pleasure talking to you. So thank you everybody for watching. This was Marco coming at you live from Backstage exclusive content here at WEMF 2015, where Netokracija has partnered with Neuralab.